Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Alamo City, San Antonio, Texas. I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing. And this Saturday, Showtime makes its return here to San Antonio and the Alamodome. And we're bringing you a triple header of high stakes, meaningful fights brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. Look, I know we're here in the home of the five-time NBA champion San Antonio Spurs, but let's be honest, this city loves boxing. It has long been a fighting city from the days of former world champ and a good friend of mine, James Leha, to back in '93 with Pernell Whitaker. And Julio Cesar Chavez fought here back on Showtime, the Alamodome. It was jam-packed. In fact, we were just here a year and a half ago when Gervonta Davis knocked out Leo Santa Cruz at the Alamodome. It was in the heart of the pandemic. There was a cap on the capacity of the crowd that could be there, and people came out in droves. This city loves boxing. And this Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, that's 6 o'clock Pacific time, we're bringing you 3 fights in the main event. It features a battle of unbeatens. We have the newly crowned WBC featherweight champion, Mark Magsayo, the only reigning champion right now from the Philippines, making the first defense of his title against the unbeaten former world champion and mandatory challenger in Rey Vargas. That's the main event. The co-main features a young man who's really popular around these parts. Of course, he's from Wilesco, Texas. He's the former 122-pound champion. He's known as the Heartbreaker, Brandon Figueroa. He steps into the ring and making his debut at 126 pounds, taking on a man who, just like Brandon, coming off his first career loss, also coming up to 126, and Carlos Castro. This fight meaningful because the winner of that co-main has their eyes squarely on the main event. They want the winner between Magsayo and Vargas. And then we're going to begin the night with one of those rising stars at lightweight, 135 pounds, the unbeaten, the Ghost, Frank Martin. It's a guy who has stopped 6 of the last 7 opponents he's fought, taking on Jackson Marinez. Now, tickets for this event available. You can purchase your tickets through Ticketmaster.com. And of course, these fights are all being promoted by one of the best in the business in TGB Promotions. 3 fights on broadcast television on Showtime Championship Boxing, 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time. Let's talk about some of these fights, and we'll start with the first fight of the night. Frank Martin, he's 15-0, got 11 knockouts. Again, he stopped 6 of his last 7 opponents. Frank, first of all, thank you. I know you did my show, The Last Stand. And you know, one of the things you talked about, you said, I'm probably the most overlooked guy at 135 pounds. When you look at it, you got guys like the undisputed champion, Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia. Are you the best fighter in this division? Not name one of those guys.
Yes.
And tell us why.
I feel like I got it all. You know, I got speed, I got power, I got great coaching, and I got a great IQ. You know, I'm a well-balanced fighter.
Why do you think, and why do you believe, when you made that statement, you said, probably the most overlooked guy in this division? Why is that, you think?
I don't know. They might just want to keep me under the radar, you know. That might be the reason.
What does this fight mean to you this coming Saturday? What kind of message then are you trying to send to that division?
I just really want to wake the division up, you know, wake them up and just let them know that I'm here, and I'm here for a long time.
Frank will be taking on Jackson Marinez, 19-2. He's got 7 knockouts. We got Martin Bader here who will do the translation for us. Jackson, listen, you're coming into this fight on a 17-month layoff. You only got a 9-day notice. Will any of that be a problem for you come Saturday night?
Bueno, venís de una inactividad de 7 meses y solamente te avisaron sobre esta pelea a 9 días de que suceda. ¿Crees que eso va a ser un inconveniente para vos o no te afecta en lo más mínimo?
Muy buenas tardes. No creo que va a ser ningún inconveniente. La experiencia está y solamente he confiado en el trabajo que hemos hecho.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I don't believe it's going to be a problem because I possess the experience that I need and I can rely on the work that I have been doing throughout this layoff in order to be successful on Saturday night.
Jackson, it's one thing to, be the late opponent, but then to find out you're fighting someone like Martin who is slick, he's got power. Talk to us about the challenge you face come Saturday night.
Bueno, no solo te avisaron a último momento, sino que tu rival es de alto calibre, alguien potente con una pegada feroz como lo es Frank Martin. ¿Qué representa este desafío para vos considerando los obstáculos que tuviste que sortear?
Bueno, es una buena pelea, no le quitamos mérito, pero tampoco le ponemos de más. En esta pelea vamos a verlo, vamos a probar, vamos a ver si es verdad lo que se dice de él o lo que se está viendo.
It's gonna be a good fight, I can tell you that for sure. And just like I wouldn't ever underestimate him, I can tell you that we're not gonna put him on a pedestal either. We're gonna go out there on Saturday night and see if the hype, if everything that they say about him is really true.
Frank, let's wrap this up then. Hey, look, he said don't underestimate him. He wants to see if the hype is real. You get the opportunity to set the table Saturday night. What should we expect?
The hype real, but I don't never underestimate no opponent. I respect all my opponents, so I'm looking forward to a good night a good fight Saturday night, and hope you bring your A game because I'm gonna bring mine.
Dice que espera que estés en tu mejor nivel porque él va a llegar a su mejor nivel y que creas que lo que dice sobre él es verdad.
Vamos a esperar. Soy de los boxeadores que no me catalogo por hablar mucho, simplemente es subir arriba del ring y ver qué pasa, hacer el trabajo que se ha venido trabajando.
Well, enough talking. I'm not a talker anyway. Let's step into the ring and see who can do what.
Here we go, folks. That sets the table for you on Saturday night at the Alamodome here on Showtime Championship Boxing as Jackson Marinez takes on Frank the Ghost Martin. And then we get to the co-main. And again, you want to talk about meaningful fight. Brandon Figueroa, the heartbreaker, 22-1-1. He's got 17 knockouts. This guy's a world champion at 122 pounds, but now making his debut at 126. Carlos Castro, 27-1. He's got 12 knockouts. And just like Brandon coming off his first career loss, and just like Brandon coming up to 126. Meaningful because the winner of this fight wants nothing more than to fight the winner of the main event for the world title. So Brandon, let me start with you. First fight at 126, first fight since that first loss. How much better of a fighter then will we see out of Brandon Figueroa come Saturday? Because I'm assuming A, motivated, and 2, looking for redemption.
Yes, sir, of course. My last loss taught me a lot, and I'm coming back with everything. I've had an excellent training camp, and I'm just feel so anxious and excited to come back and prove, like I proved at 122, that I belong in this division and be among the best.
Yeah. You talked about that last fight, obviously against Cool Boy Steph. You learned a lot. What did you learn?
I learned to be a little bit more patient learn to use my abilities to full use, my reach, my height, just being a little bit more technical.
Yeah. Now, fighting at 126, how do you think Brandon Figueroa will do at 126 now that you're at the bigger weight? Will that power still be there? How you used to just overwhelm guys, you think that power will still be there at 126?
I feel like it increased. I just feel a lot stronger, a lot better, mentally, physically. I just feel ready to go.
Yeah, that's great. Carlos, first question to you, same wing that I gave Brandon here. Coming up to 126, coming off your first career loss, I assume, just like Brandon, motivated and looking for redemption come Saturday.
No, yeah, of course. First of all, thank everyone for being here and thank you guys for having me here. And thank Figueroa and his team for giving me the opportunity, and yeah, like you said, I feel like we're two fighters that are motivated, we're both coming off a loss, and coming up to 126 is a big step because there's great fighters, great champions in the stage right now. But like you said, this fight means a lot because the winner can take the winner of the 126-pound champion. So I'm just ready, and I'm just ready to display my skills and come hungry.
Yeah, fantastic. Let me ask you this too, Carlos. You're fighting a guy who, kind of in his backyard. I mean, he's going to certainly have the home field advantage, so to speak. How does that play into that? And do you like being the underdog, so to speak?
No, yeah, of course, but at the end of the day, there's no home field here. This is boxing, at the end of the day, there's two men going at it in the ring. The crowd or anything like that doesn't bother us. We're professional athletes, so this is what we do.
You already answered it, but I'm assuming you obviously have focused here on Brandon, but you want, I assume, the winner of this main event. You want to fight for the world title at 126. You knock off Brandon Figueroa.
Of course, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? That's a great opportunity for any fighter in this world. That's something we train for and something we live for, but not taking nothing away. I'm looking forward Saturday night against Brandon because it is not going to be an easy task, and we know it, but we're willing to do the best we can.
What kind of fight do you expect? Figueroa is a guy, he has overwhelmed just about every opponent he's fought. What kind of fight should we expect out of you come Saturday?
No, yeah, of course he's overwhelmed, but I believe that this fight is meant to be fireworks, The winners here is going to be the crowd because this fight is fireworks, man. Like you said, we're both coming off a loss and we both want to prove that we're the best.
Brandon, we'll wrap it up with you. Give us a final word here. What should we expect, man? I know a lot of people want to see you at 126. A lot of people want to see how do you come back from that Fulton loss. What should we expect on Saturday night?
The best version of Brandon. We've been tweaking, working after the loss. Went back to the drawing board and just been working nonstop. And I'm just so excited to be here, with the champions and yeah. I mean, after this fight, hopefully everything goes my way, and I will be glad and love to fight these champions right here next to me, and it will be an honor. So I'm just excited and anxious, and I just can't wait.
That's the co-main. Meaningful fight, as they talked about. They want the winner of the main event. So let's get to the main event of the night. And you've got the WBC featherweight champion, Mark Magsayo, 24-0, unbeaten, 16 knockouts. He certainly has dynamite in his hands. Listen, he exploded onto the scene at the beginning of the year when he knocked off Gary Russell Jr., who at the time was the longest reigning male champion in boxing. His reign lasted 7 years. Magsayo took him down, and he's taking on Rey Vargas. 35-0, 22 knockouts at 122 pounds. I mean, Rey Vargas had a reign himself of like 3 years as world champion. Neither man has suffered defeat, but someone will come Saturday night. Champ, I'll start with you. I was reading about the fight, and you told the boxing scene, quote, "There's going to be a knockout if Rey doesn't run." Talk to us about that. Explain yourself.
Because I'm thinking, I want to prove that the last fight is my opponent is going to run too much. So I hope Rey Vargas don't run too much, so we can give a good fight to the people.
Dice Rey, dice que espera que no andes en la bicicleta corriendo mucho dentro del ring, que espera que sea una buena pelea para el público.
Yo creo que sí, si quiere que nos bajemos nos vamos a bajar. Y yo creo que le tengo que agradecer a su equipo y a él por el halago que me hicieron, porque traer a gente nueva, gente de Filipinas, de nutrólogos, añadirlos a su equipo es un halago para mí, porque quiere decir que saben que no soy cualquier rival. Tienen que agarrarse de donde sea para poder estar aquí.
Well, look, if you want to exchange blows, I'm more than happy to do it. And I see it as a compliment to myself, the fact that you added a lot of people to your team from the Philippines, because it means that you are taking me really seriously, that you don't think that I'm just another opponent. But I think that's an advantage to me, because it means you're worried.
Love this. Ray, I love this main event for all the drama that you have built up in it. You've got that Philippines versus Mexico rivalry. Both of you guys are unbeaten. You're both led by Hall of Fame trainers in Freddie Roach and Nacho Beristain. Talk to me about the drama that this fight builds as well.
Bueno, hablando, lo que tenemos en esta pelea son dos grandes boxeadores, dos grandes entrenadores como Freddie Roach y Nacho Beristain, y todo lo que los rodea parece ser como una telenovela. Contanos un poco de lo que sentís de este drama para esta pelea.
Sí, por supuesto, tenemos dos celebridades en las esquinas, pero bueno, a fin de cuentas, los que estamos arriba del ring solo somos él y yo. Ya he compartido alguna pelea con el entrenador Freddie Roach y hemos salido adelante, gracias a Dios. Entonces yo creo que también él sabe cómo hemos trabajado, por eso igual añadieron más cosas en su equipo, pero es un privilegio estar aquí y volver a compartir esquina con Freddie Roach.
We certainly do have two celebrities in each corner, and Freddie Roach is a great trainer. I have had the pleasure of sharing the ring with him before, and the fact that, like I said before, the fact that they added people to the team, it means that they are so worried. So in the end though, it's going to be just Mark and I inside the ring, and we are ready to put on a show, and regardless of what drama may or may not come, it's just going to be him and I exchanging blows.
Mark, he says you've added a lot of cats to your team because you are worried. Are you worried about Rey Vargas?
I'm not worried. I've been the best in my division, so my confidence is high.
Dice que no está preocupado él, que lo de su equipo no le preocupa, que él le ganó a los mejores de su división y que su confianza está por las nubes.
Está bien, entre más alto, más duro cae.
The higher they go with their confidence, the harder they fall.
No man, you never fought a guy like me.
Y que nunca has peleado contra alguien como él.
Ni tú contra mí.
Sí.
See you Saturday.
Ray, reading about the fight, you told the media, quote, Magsayo always comes out strong with a lot of energy, but we're going to counter that, and that's when we will tear his head off, end quote. Tell us about that.
Le dijiste a la prensa que vos sabés de lo que Magsayo es capaz, pero que a la misma vez ustedes van a tener su estrategia y ahí va a ser cuando aprovecharán y le van a arrancar la cabeza. Contanos qué quisiste decir sobre eso.
Sí, por supuesto, digo, sabemos que con la experiencia que tiene Freddie Roach van a estar viendo, ¿no? Nuestra temática, pero oh sorpresa, traemos otra diferente, que esa no la esperan y es donde vamos a arrancar cabezas. Así es que eso no me preocupa, si está por las nubes, cae más rápido o más duro y bueno, venimos a pelear, no a hablar.
I certainly know that someone like Freddie Roach, I certainly know like someone that's as experienced as Freddie Roach, they may think they know what my strategy is gonna be, but I have an ace up my sleeve. They don't know what's coming, and when that happens, that's when I'm gonna tear his head off. His confidence may be in the clouds, but he's gonna fall so hard that it's gonna hurt a lot.
Mark, what's your response to that?
It's just funny.
You know, you are the only reigning champion from the Philippines. I think a victory Saturday, especially an emphatic victory, all of a sudden everyone looks to you as like the face of Philippine boxing. Do you embrace that? Is that something you're looking to prove, you know, now that your mentor Manny Pacquiao stepped away?
It sounds pretty good to me that they're looking at me now. So I'm gonna do my best. Every fight, I need to win every fight because people are watching me in my back. So I'm gonna do my best every fight.
And what does it mean to you that you get the opportunity to make your first title defense here at the Alamodome, here in San Antonio, whereas an 8-year-old child, your first fight, you watch Manny Pacquiao in '93 knocks off Barrera, his basically breakout fight, and you said, okay, I want to be a boxer. Now, here you are, some years later, fighting in the same venue and making your first title defense.
Yeah, this is very special for me because this is the time that I saw Manny Pacquiao fought Marco Antonio Barrera that time, and that's the day that I inspired training in the gym. So it's very important to me for this fight, and I would like to thank Sir Sean, Al Heyman, BBC, and Showtime for making this fight happen, to make it, to my dream come true.
Lastly, Ray, you know, if you look at it, in the last 3 years, you've had just one fight. In a fight of this magnitude, will that be an issue at all? I'm talking about, you know, the timing, ring rust, considering you haven't been as active over the past 3 years.
Bueno, Rey, tu nivel de actividad en los últimos 3 años no ha sido demasiado, tuviste solamente una pelea. ¿Crees que cuando se trata de una pelea de esta magnitud, cuando se trata del timing, también de lo que es la dinámica, te va a afectar el haber tenido tan poca actividad?
No, por supuesto que no. Hemos estado activos. En noviembre lo demostramos. Que regresamos con una pelea excelente. Y bueno, yo creo que ese es el ritmo, ¿no? De hecho, esta pelea tenía que haber sido directo con Gary. Pero bueno, dimos la oportunidad a Magsayo que peleara con Gary y resultó Magsayo el ganador. Y bueno, esa es la pelea directa. Tenemos el nivel, estamos bien, por eso estamos en esta pelea. Si no hubiese sido así, tal vez hubiéramos recorrido, pero nosotros sabemos lo que tenemos.
I showcased my fighting skill in November, that I was coming off a long layoff then, and I showed that there is no ring rust then, there is no ring rust now. And you know, my fight was supposed to be directly with Gary Russell Jr., but Magsayo won his fight, and now we're giving him a chance. I am fully confident in my capabilities for this Saturday night. I am ready to go.
Here we go, we'll wrap it up with this. Ray, we'll start with you. For the thousands that are going to pay their hard-earned money, come out to the Alamodome, hundreds of thousands who will turn into Showtime Championship Boxing to see you fight, what can you guarantee that they're going to get come Saturday night?
Rey, ¿qué le puedes garantizar a los miles que te van a estar viendo en el Alamodome, los miles que te van a estar viendo por televisión? ¿Qué le puedes garantizar a la gente viendo la cámara y decirles, les garantizo que va a pasar este sábado?
Claro que sí, a los miles no, yo creo que a los millones. Les garantizo que este sábado es una pelea electrizante. Los ganadores van a ser ustedes, que van a estar presentes aquí y en casita.
I guarantee you guys it's gonna be a hell. I guarantee that it's gonna be a hell of a fight. You guys at home, you guys at the Alamodome, you're gonna be the real winners. Don't miss it. It's gonna be fireworks. You're gonna love it.
Champ, you get the final word. Same thing. For all those people who are going to be paying their hard-earned money, come out to the Alamodome. They want to see you fight. All those hundreds of thousands turning on the Showtime Championship Boxing. What can you guarantee they're going to get Saturday night?
I guarantee that this is a big fight for us because there's going to be 4 in our division. So there's only one left undefeated in this coming Saturday. So it's going to be me.
There you go. That's the main event that comes your way Saturday night on Showtime Championship Boxing. Again, the broadcast begins at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time. It's brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. It's being promoted by TGB Promotions, and tickets are available through Ticketmaster.com. Gentlemen, so let's start with the opening fight. Jackson and Frank. First fight of the night, the Ghost, Jackson Marinez. At 135. You guys can turn and face the camera for us real quick. It'd be great. That's it. That's it. Yes, sir. That's it. This one sets the table, folks, on Showtime Championship Boxing.
Look at the camera.
High stakes fight at 135.
Can I get this one look right here?
Right here, one more down here.
For Showtime. Great, thank you.
Just hang on the side, we're gonna do a group shot.
Now we get to the co-main. Brandon Figueroa. Carlos Castro.
We're 9-5-6, you got those time.
All right, guys, turn and face the back. Camera's in the back first. Down here to Esther.
Great.
Thank you, guys.
Sorry, one more.
Yep.
The wide shot. Great, thank you.
Well, let's hang tight, we're gonna do a group shot.
And now we get to the main event. The reigning world champion, Mark Magsayo, Rey Vargas. This is for the WBC Featherweight Championship of the World. Two unbeaten fighters in the main event.
Down here first. Right here.
Awesome, thank you.
Stay right. Stay right. Got it. Just right here in the front for Esther.
Just right here for me, thanks guys.
Here we go. 3 fights. Showtime Championship Boxing coming your way Saturday night, folks. 9 p.m. Eastern, that is 6 o'clock Pacific time.